Say I wanted a drink named after me. What would I have to do?
Snuff it. Mind-blowingly spectacular fashion. It would be best.
What a beautiful tradition.
What's up, people? Today we aren't going to be reviewing hardware or tech, and instead we'll be testing a recipe from a game, no less. Cyberpunk 2077 to be exact. We're going to be testing a cocktail called the Jackie Wells, which is named after the character you see here, and which is one of your friends that you make early on in the game. Now, most of the ingredients in the recipe are fairly straightforward, and it's mentioned once in the game. Now, the challenge is that one of the ingredients that he mentions is a bit obscure, so we will be giving our own interpretation of the Jackie Wells afterwards. But by and large, in the real world, the Jackie Wells cocktail is effectively a Russian mule in form, function, and in how it's done.
Oh, and by the way, name's Jackie Wells. You want to write down my recipe?
Sure.
Shot of vodka on the rocks, lime juice, ginger beer. Oh, and most importantly, a splash of love.
Haha! I'll remember that.
Recipe is straightforward. You get ginger ale, you have vodka, we have dragon fruit, we'll get into why we need that later, and limes. We couldn't get the correct species, but this is what we had on short notice, so it'll have to do. Assembling the recipe should be fairly straightforward, and you don't require any specialized tools. First, you slice the limes. 2 of them should do for 1 serving of the Jackie Wells. You have to squeeze them into the glass and remove the seeds. This may be the toughest part of the recipe, as you need quite a bit of finger work, as you can see here, and some patience to remove the seeds and pits from the glass itself. Next up, you have to pour half a glass of ginger ale into the glass itself. Again, watch out for the carbonation, it may bubble over the glass, so you just have to be fairly careful and just pour it in over the lime juice. Easy does it. Alright, next up is the vodka. Now we're aiming for a 2-to-1 ratio, so you'll have to be fairly careful how you dose it out since we don't have a shot glass. So we guesstimated just so. Alright, next up is the interesting part. Technically this is already the Russian mule as it is, but as Jackie Wells said, you need a splash of love, which is where the dragon fruit comes into the picture. Now we're going to drop one in, and we're gonna smash it up good to get the pink juice from the dragon fruit out, to give it the proverbial splash of love, so to speak. Now this is to taste, but you may probably want to get the rest of the unsmashed fruit out of the juice, and probably want to clean up the glass a bit. But otherwise, this is to lend it a pink look, and it actually looks quite interesting as cocktails go. In terms of flavor, it's not bad. Dragon fruit doesn't overpower the thing. There's a strong kick from the vodka and the ginger beer, and overall it's pretty tasty. Here's to you, Jackie.